My name is Margaret N. Windsor. I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, USA, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers and I have to use that name still. Uh, the twins were dead, Peggy and Carl. They gave me her name. They were born out of wedlock, and their mother killed them, the Dempseys. Covered it up, and it's kind of odd when you get into all this with the crimes ongoing, like the FBI said in the letter June the 23rd. By the way, that's my father's birthday. King Edward VIII that you all slaughtered and went in and supported Elizabeth and the George VI illegal that represents the global government, the Illuminati, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Roosevelt, the Jews. Go ahead and say it, the Jews. Somehow you think it's okay. They did this to me and my dad. Well, they're your global government. The Zuckerman that owns Facebook is plans to be president, and all of this. Why didn't they tell it? He certainly knows how they took over the world and formed the United Nations. It's when they took my dad down and then they kidnapped me. My father never married Wallace Simpson, a double did. Now, I wrote about mind control, and I'm watching it play out, and I have told all of you along the way. I did a book about Larry McDonald was a doctor in Atlanta Piedmont Hospital. I wrote about U.S. Congressman. And ask yourself about Sonny Bono and how in January, I forgot what year they were skiing. I believe Sonny died that way. And so did one of the Kennedys that hit the tree skiing. Guess the tree couldn't get out of the way. But anyway, I think I got both of them right there. That's what happened. But there's more that Congress, if they're inept like this and covering up, why are you going after Donald Trump? The press is, well, I'm babbling now. I wanted to say this while I can. Larry, I'm just going to, if you want to hear it, you can turn it off. You call me every name in the book. And quite frankly, I don't give a rat's anymore. You've done so much to me, America. You brought me over here. My mom is Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, sister to artist George O'Keefe from Madison, Wisconsin. So my mom, I don't want to flaunt it. I'm sure my mom hurt like hell, and the O'Keefes paid a price for what you all did. And I want to say this. America is that look at yourselves. You don't dare tell them what they're doing. They're first in line for everything. Hey, they deserve it. They screwed the world and said the world was the enemy when it's right here in America that did it. And don't tell them any different because I've done it and they come after me hook, line, and sinker. The things that have been done to me and my two sons, Mark and Scott, who are heirs after me, you're sick, America. And part of my own family, and like Winston Churchill, burned the Windsor files where my father married my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. Never married this American spy. And even today, she's put up when they talk about Meghan Markle marrying Harry. Whole lineage, you put up, America. You did. You helped do it. And you can keep on calling me names, and because of how you've made me live and had to fight, don't know where my children are, while I'm telling you what's being done to yours. And all that can be done is help save another. Well, what I was doing was telling about mind control murders. I go back to Larry Flint. And if I'm rambling, you damn right I've got a right to. I'm going to show this. This is this is the Scott. And I'm just going to say this. Look at what is going on at Parkland. And you're going to push this away while all those mothers stand there like they really want to know. Somebody's got to do something. I've been telling it since before 1976. And I paid a price. And about what you all have done to me and are doing is unbelievable. I've told about mind control murders. And you stand down there, and this is at Parkland, Broward County in Florida. Parkland should be the end of this. These murders have been done in patterns specifically because mind control is hard to prove. It's invisible. I've told you over and over how many videos, look at them on YouTube and Facebook, and I'm the one that's called crazy. I'm the one that's still dumped on, and I'm tired. I'm 79 years old, and as of today, you're using the mental health system as a scapegoat for your weapon, which is mind control. Any fool can Google mind control. It's all over the YouTube and everything. You didn't need me to tell it. You know what you're busy doing. You're living a good life, all of you. Americans, I don't care who, what, you're Americans. They greeted everybody into this country. Well, they kidnapped me and brought me here. And I've been told this. Oh, yeah, and you see who told it to me. Well, we kidnapped you. We got what we wanted. Now you can just get out of the way. Become invisible. Go. And this is about your attitude all the way. This is my dad, Edward VIII, who married Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. Never Wallace Simpson, your American spy. This is George. This is the illegal six that would do what the Illuminati said, and he became the illegal monarch. Here's your Jew, Roosevelt, with the Rockefellers, Rothschilds. Now, you didn't even care about your own guy in the military. He's dead. He told you they had a biochip in him, Timothy McVeigh, that the U.S. Army put it in him. It was Oklahoma City bombing, and he's dead, put to death. Now, this is the patterns. Well, I hope this is all told because I've stood in line. They talk about the blacks used to stand in line, and were treated like second-class citizens. Well, they all got in on what's done to me. White, black, whatever. And don't call me prejudiced. I cared about everybody until I found out that everybody didn't give a rat's about me and about Great Britain. You didn't save us. You went in there and you stole us blind. And that's you, American, that's got all your army bases, your military all over Great Britain. You're the ones that brought in the UN, the United Nations. After you kidnapped me, your way in was going in and taking down my dad, kidnapping me, putting Elizabeth and, well, her father in, George the illegal six, and then you control that part of the country. I'm talking about Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Netherlands. Those were monarchs. And Germany, you went in and screwed the world. You're the terrorist. Stop hiding behind. Don't tell me you can't wait to get in front of everybody. I haven't even had food. I've starved. I've frozen. I had to get out of your way. Talk about a second-class citizen. You brought me over here. You stomped all over me. You raped me. You did every vile friggin' act in the book to me while I was trying to beg and tell you what was going on. Now then, in Parkland, JFK helped kidnap me. All my video have been put up over 5 years, 6, in Facebook, and part of it on Instagram. Is that what I'm trying to say? Not Instagram. Anyway, right now my ears are out and I can hardly hear, and I can't walk, and I'm penniless just about in this friggin' world that stole it all from me. Stop saying you want people saying we want peace. No, what you want is you took everything and you don't want to pay for it, America, or any of the rest of them who got in on it now. You want to go on living your good life. I'm going to tell you once again in Parkland. They just did that, and I've thought it was the end of the line on it, and maybe it'd be over before, but this one should be it. It's the timing and all of it. And the Parkland is where John Kennedy, it didn't matter that he did all this to me, helped kidnap me, and the vile acts done to me. His dad was appointed ambassador to England by Roosevelt and helped take down my father and kidnap me and what was done to my children here. Now, he was shot, JFK, and taken to Parkland, and I've put this up on the videos. He was taken to Parkland in 63, and Victor Gonzalez is a doctor. He's a child psychiatrist. He is living in Atlanta, and I think the last I heard he was still practicing in Marietta. And along with Paul Beecham, who tried to help kill me, and Mr. Flynn even says here he seems to be the only one that can tell the truth, too. Says that Larry McDonald, the congressman doctor that went down in the KAL in August 31st of 83, was part of his shooting in, I don't have that down, shooting in Atlanta. Right there it is. March the 6th of 78. Anyway, I had a letter from the FBI. I'd moved from Moonraker to up the street on Bentley Drive to Laurelwood. Let me say this. The patterns are like Laurel, Maryland, where George Wallace was shot. The one decent man, I don't give a rat's what any of you say anymore. You have stripped me of it, even being able to breathe. You cold-blooded rats. You get in front of everybody. I've stood at the back of the line, had no food, take a old cold tater and wait. Isn't that it? You put me down in the garbage, and I managed to scramble through it, and I hope I see you burn in hell. Now, I'm going to tell you, Parkland in Florida, where you better be afraid they're blaming the mental health for something that they're using as a weapon against people. I've been telling you, mind control is not mental illness. And this poor man, a young man, and I shouldn't say it, he'd probably be part of doing this mess to me too, wouldn't care until it happened to him. And that's what the FBI said to me years ago. You know what you do with it? You bore them. It's only when they find out how it connects to them that they care. Well, they don't really care. Now you're going to turn on the FBI and blame them. It's you, America. I had 2 children, my children I love, and I've tried to tell you every step of the way about this. And you're down there and the media's all on, oh, my children this and oh, my children that. Well, I'm going to mention one more, and you can say what you want to. Parkland's where they took John Kennedy, when the man that helped kidnap me and do all this. And Gonzalez was interning there in 63. So the steps were laid out. His next steps was the Redstone Army Command Center, Marshall Space Flight Center. If you care to research what you great Americans are into, research the Marshall Islands and how crooked you all are. Sick you control the world. What the hell are you doing in Germany? Got your bases all over Great Britain. You got Area 51 and you screwed Australia. Now that's the way it is, not the sugar-coated Americans you pretend to be. You step in front of me when I eat shit from you all. Now, I'm sure you'll make something out of this. I better be careful, have been anyway. Run for my life. But Gonzalez was at Redstone next, and that's when I lived there and worked at the health spa. I'm not going to get into all this again. I've put it up. Now then, the next thing is he's in Atlanta, and my husband takes me to him. And it was a hell on wheel, my life, and what was done to my children. I was blamed for it, not what really happened has not been told. There's a seal put on it. You can't put a seal on something that you didn't know was going on, and I'd had nothing. My husband took it over, and the attorneys he had. It was seal put on it for nothing, just to shut it up. Gonzalez, anyway, He worked for Parkland, and that is this is all I'm going to say about that. You can't when you misdiagnose, and just like they've done this man, he's not mentally ill. None of these people were. They were programmed. You, America, this could have been your son yesterday that they charged yesterday. Cruz, that's his last name, for the shootings and calling him every name in the book. He's programmed. It could have been your child that was programmed to shoot and being called these vile names. And now his life will be in prison if he even gets there. So he probably wouldn't have cared either had I told him yesterday till it happened to him. Now then, back to Gonzales in Atlanta. Parkland is part of the growing mental health. There's a woman here near Roanoke, Blacksburg, where the Virginia Tech shootings took place. What was it, in '09? I can't remember now. When Elizabeth came through here. I'm living on top of the mountain, starving and freezing. Elizabeth comes through wearing my crown, and she's being bowed down to while I lived in, I won't say it again, but that's the proper word, you got it. So that was a program shooting, the young man from South Korea. After all the people I've told, I've gone to the press, they know it. They know about who I am before I ever came here, but they know about the mind control murders. Every bit of it. They won't tell it because it leads back to me and the takedown of Great Britain, and it would show Americans for who they are. The corrupt, irresponsible, preening themselves like they're the good guys when you're not. Believe me, I've walked in my shoes and barefoot, and I know who you are. I'm just not allowed to say it. I've already paid a price. So anyway, I hope that the people are able to tell this. The Parkland should be the end of it. Parkland, let me get back to this if I can hold your attention this long. Parkwood is where Gonzales worked in Atlanta. The hospitals are mental hospitals, and the growing huge thing with mental health, when they're treating people for, this is political. In Florida, they can go out and grab you and hold you for how many days just because somebody says to. They're bypassing the court system. Well, if you're telling about this or you know about it, my God, you might as well have been put in the gas chambers because you'll never walk out of there. Wake up. I don't care if you do or not anymore. It's over for me. I hope I live to see my father's name cleared. I want you Americans to be known for who you are. And Elizabeth and Winston Churchill and Eisenhower, they were all buddies. And Truman became president and JFK became president. But back to the mental health. The woman near Blacksburg, all these years it's lived here, was saying she didn't know why, that somebody didn't do something about this, that it was a mental health issue. Hell no, it's not. You all don't know how to tell the truth. It's programming and mind control. And your kids would still be alive. It's not just kids. They can program armies. So the New World Order is in place. So welcome to all this fun you've created. I've had people tell me that knew exactly what I'm saying, but they said, well, we have children. We're going to live it as long as we can, the good life. When it gets here and shuts us down, it does. To hell with me.